Are you over 60 and feeling like your energy just isn't what it used to be? Slower mornings, lower drive, maybe even trouble focusing. What if I told you that 6 everyday vegetables could quietly change all of that? I'm Dr. Justin Keller. I work with men over 60 every day, and I can tell you many of the symptoms you think are just aging often come down to poor nutrition, weak circulation, and silent hormone shifts. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 6 essential vegetables that directly impact your energy, stamina, brain clarity, hormone balance, and even heart health. These aren't obscure or expensive. They're simple, available at any grocery store, and most men are overlooking them. You'll learn how dark leafy greens help power your mitochondria, how beets support circulation like natural fuel, why broccoli and mushrooms calm inflammation and help regulate testosterone. Plus, the hydration secret hiding in cucumbers and zucchini. Stick around until the end, because the first vegetable we talk about is the one that surprises most men the most. And honestly, it's usually the one they're not eating. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Drop your city below. I love seeing where this community is growing. If you find value in this kind of content, hit the like button and subscribe to Glowing Age. It helps me continue to create real, evidence-based guidance for men like you who want to live longer and live better. Forgotten powerhouses, dark leafy greens, spinach, kale, Swiss chard. Did you know one of the most overlooked causes of low energy in men over 60 is something as simple and as fixable as a magnesium deficiency? I've seen this in my clinic more times than I can count. A man walks in complaining of fatigue, muscle cramps, brain fog. We run a few basic labs and sure enough, low magnesium. The culprit, a lack of dark leafy greens in his diet. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, these are not just salad fillers. They are some of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet, and they carry exactly what aging male bodies need to function at their best. Let me break this down for you. As we age, our body's efficiency at absorbing nutrients declines. That's a fact. Yet the demand for those nutrients, especially for minerals like magnesium, iron, and folate, remains high. These greens are loaded with all three. Magnesium, in particular, plays a direct role in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, including those responsible for energy production and testosterone regulation. You may not feel it right away, but when your magnesium levels drop, your mitochondria, the tiny power plants in your cells, can't function properly. That leads to less energy output, slower metabolism, and even lower mood. Spinach and Swiss chard are among the richest natural sources of magnesium available. A single cup of cooked spinach contains up to 40% of your daily needs. That's powerful medicine from your plate. Iron is another major player, especially for circulation and oxygen transport. Low iron doesn't just cause anemia. It makes your muscles weaker, your brain slower, and your recovery from even simple activities feels sluggish. Kale and chard provide non-heme iron, which your body can absorb more efficiently when paired with vitamin C, say, from a few slices of red bell pepper or a squeeze of lemon juice. And we can't overlook folate. This B vitamin is critical for red blood cell production and DNA repair. As we get older, folate deficiency can contribute to cognitive decline and low stamina. These greens offer a natural, plant-based source that your body knows exactly how to use. Now, some of you may be thinking, "Doc, I tried eating more greens, but they just taste bitter or upset my stomach." That's common, but preparation is everything. Lightly sautéing kale in olive oil with garlic or adding spinach to a morning omelet can make a huge difference, not just in taste, but in digestion. Overcooking these vegetables, on the other hand, destroys much of their nutrient value. Steam them gently or eat them raw in moderation. Your gut will thank you, and so will your joints. There's even more to it. Chlorophyll, the pigment that gives these greens their vibrant color, has detoxifying effects on the liver, supports wound healing, and can improve oxygen delivery in the body. That's a real benefit for men dealing with sluggishness, inflammation, or chronic fatigue. And here's something I tell all my patients over 60. Don't wait until you feel terrible to start eating well. Prevention is much easier than treatment. A few cups of dark leafy greens every week can improve how you feel, how you move, and how you age. No prescriptions, no side effects. Just food doing what it was always meant to do: nourish, repair, and energize. You don't need supplements to get started. You just need a pan, some olive oil, and 5 minutes. You've earned the right to feel strong in your own skin. These vegetables help get you there. Rooted in strength, beets and carrots. If you're waking up tired even after a full night's sleep, or you feel winded climbing a simple flight of stairs, your circulation may not be keeping up with your body's needs. And the answer, surprisingly, might be growing underground. Beets and carrots, two root vegetables most people overlook, are powerhouses when it comes to restoring stamina and physical performance in men over 60. I want you to understand why these aren't just colorful side dishes. They're nature's endurance medicine. Let's start with beets. This humble root is one of the richest sources of natural dietary nitrates. Now, nitrates convert into nitric oxide in your body, and nitric oxide is crucial. It relaxes and widens blood vessels, improving blood flow, reducing blood pressure, and enhancing oxygen delivery to your muscles and brain. Several clinical studies show that beetroot juice can improve exercise performance, stamina, and even reaction time in older adults. That's not marketing hype, it's real physiology. In fact, one study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that older men who consumed beetroot juice experienced significantly lower oxygen costs during physical activity. That means they were using energy more efficiently, feeling less fatigued, and recovering faster. Whether you're walking the dog, gardening, or simply trying to stay active without exhaustion, this is a game changer. Now, I know beets can be an acquired taste, but you don't have to drink beet juice straight to get the benefits. Roasted beets, diced into salads or blended into smoothies with a touch of apple or ginger, can be both palatable and powerful. Let's move on to carrots. Most people associate them with eye health, and yes, the beta-carotene in carrots does convert to vitamin A, which supports vision, especially in low light. But there's much more to it. Carrots are loaded with antioxidants, including lutein and zeaxanthin, which also support cognitive function, something many men begin to notice changes in after 60. There's also an interesting hormonal link. Vitamin A plays a supporting role in testosterone regulation, particularly through the health of the pituitary gland and testes. While it's not a magic bullet, adequate vitamin A from natural sources like carrots helps maintain the balance needed for mood, muscle mass, and sexual health in later years. Another benefit: carrots are high in fiber, which supports gut health and slows down the absorption of sugars. This stabilizes blood sugar levels, which is critical for steady energy and preventing that post-meal crash that so many men over 60 complain about. Add in their anti-inflammatory properties, and you've got a food that supports joints, digestion, and even skin health, without needing anything processed or packaged. Here's something I often tell my patients. When it comes to aging, the body isn't just wearing out, it's adapting. And it needs better fuel to keep adapting well. Root vegetables like beets and carrots are slow-burning, nutrient-dense sources of energy. They don't spike your blood sugar, they don't cause inflammation, they don't take fancy preparation. But what they do, quietly, consistently, is nourish the systems that carry you through the day. Start simple. Grate some raw carrots into your lunch. Roast a few beets with olive oil and thyme. Or try blending half a cooked beet with some berries and almond milk. You don't have to change everything overnight, but you do have to start somewhere. And if you're serious about maintaining strength and vitality past 60, don't underestimate what these roots can do. The deeper the root, the stronger the tree, and you deserve to feel grounded, strong, and alive in your own body again. Gut and glory, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower. If you're over 60 and struggling with low energy, stubborn belly fat, or digestion that just isn't what it used to be, this next group of vegetables deserves your full attention. Broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower are part of the cruciferous family. And while they've never been the most glamorous vegetables on the plate, they are some of the most powerful allies you have for aging well, especially as a man navigating the complex shifts in hormones, digestion, and inflammation that come with the years. Let's start with the gut. The health of your gut, your microbiome, directly impacts your immune system, brain function, energy levels, and even testosterone production. Cruciferous vegetables are packed with fiber, which acts as a prebiotic. That means it feeds the good bacteria in your intestines, the ones responsible for breaking down food, absorbing nutrients, and keeping inflammation in check. If your gut bacteria are off balance, you can feel bloated, foggy, fatigued, and even depressed. This is more common than most people realize after 60. One of the reasons cruciferous vegetables stand out is because they're rich in glucosinolates. These are sulfur-containing compounds that, when broken down during digestion, create active molecules like indole-3-carbinol and sulforaphane. Now, that might sound like textbook jargon, but let me tell you why it matters. Indole-3-carbinol helps regulate hormone metabolism. For men over 60, this can support testosterone balance by assisting the liver in safely metabolizing excess estrogen. Yes, men have estrogen too, and as we age, those levels can start to rise, leading to fatigue, weight gain around the midsection, and even mood changes. This doesn't mean your hormones are broken. It means your liver needs the right fuel to process them efficiently. Cruciferous vegetables provide exactly that. Sulforaphane, on the other hand, is a powerful antioxidant. It's been studied for its ability to reduce inflammation, support brain health, and protect against cellular damage. Key concerns for anyone looking to maintain independence and clarity later in life. Some studies have even shown sulforaphane can help protect against certain cancers, including prostate cancer, which becomes more of a concern after 60. But here's something I often have to clarify with patients. Eating more of these vegetables doesn't mean giving up on taste or comfort. The reason many people avoid Brussels sprouts or broccoli is because they've only had them overcooked, mushy, bland, or sulfur-smelling. That's not how they're meant to be eaten. A quick roast at high heat with olive oil, sea salt, and garlic transforms Brussels sprouts into a caramelized, nutty-tasting side dish. Lightly steamed broccoli retains its crunch and nutrients. Add a squeeze of lemon and you've got a dish that supports both digestion and detox. Cauliflower, incredibly versatile. You can roast it, mash it, even blend it into soups for a creamy texture without cream. The other thing to keep in mind is that these vegetables are low in calories, but high in volume. That means they fill you up without weighing you down, great for managing weight, blood sugar, and appetite. For men trying to stay active and avoid unnecessary medications, this can make a real difference. And remember this, gut health doesn't just impact how you digest, it influences how you think, how you move, how you feel. The connection between your brain and your gut is real, and when your gut is inflamed, your whole body feels the strain. Cruciferous vegetables, eaten regularly, help restore balance from the inside out. I've had patients who started simply, adding broccoli to dinner 3 times a week, and within a month they were reporting better digestion, less bloating, and even better sleep. That's the quiet power of the right nutrition at work. You don't need fancy pills or extreme diets to age well. You need real food that works with your biology. And broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower have been doing exactly that for generations. The vitality boosters, mushrooms, especially Shiitake and Maitake. If you're over 60 and constantly feeling like your energy just doesn't bounce back the way it used to, there's a good chance your immune system and hormones are part of the picture. And few foods support both as directly and effectively as mushrooms, especially the medicinal varieties like Shiitake and Maitake. Now, I know mushrooms aren't technically vegetables, but they absolutely earn their place in this lineup. I recommend them to many of my older male patients, and for good reason. These fungi aren't just low-calorie flavor enhancers, they're adaptogens. That means they help your body adapt to stress, stabilize systems that are out of balance, and restore energy over time, not in a jittery or artificial way, but through quiet, biological support. Let's start with Shiitake mushrooms. These are rich in a compound called lentinin, which has been studied for its immune-boosting effects. As men age, the immune system naturally weakens, making it harder to recover from illness and more difficult to maintain everyday stamina. Shiitake mushrooms help reinforce your immune defenses without overstimulating them, almost like a natural thermostat for your internal resilience. Shiitake are also a great source of B vitamins, particularly B2, B5, and B6. These support your adrenal glands. the little hormone factories that regulate your response to stress, control blood pressure, and help maintain energy levels throughout the day. If your adrenals are overworked or undernourished, you'll feel it as fatigue, mental fog, or that wired but tired sensation that keeps you restless at night and groggy in the morning. And then there's Maitake, sometimes called the dancing mushroom because of how prized it's been in Japanese medicine. Maitake is especially effective at balancing blood sugar and supporting metabolic function. As we age, insulin sensitivity tends to decline, which can lead to energy crashes and slow recovery after meals. Maitake mushrooms contain natural compounds called beta-glucans that help modulate insulin response, meaning your energy stays more stable throughout the day. For men over 60, that stability is critical. You're not necessarily trying to boost your metabolism like a 20-year-old. You're trying to maintain consistent energy, reduce inflammation, and stay sharp. Maitake helps with all of that without stressing your system. There's also a lesser-known benefit to these mushrooms. They support testosterone indirectly, not by supplying hormones, but by reducing chronic inflammation, supporting liver function, and improving nutrient absorption. When your body isn't constantly fighting inflammation or blood sugar swings, it has more capacity to produce and regulate hormones efficiently. That's how real, lasting vitality is built. Now, I understand mushrooms can be a texture issue for some people, but preparation makes all the difference. Sautéing shiitake with a bit of olive oil and tamari makes them deeply savory and satisfying. You can also slice maitake into soups or roast them to bring out their natural earthiness. If you're still not a fan of the texture, dried powdered mushrooms are available. You can stir them into tea or even your morning smoothie without changing the flavor much at all. I often tell my patients, don't think of mushrooms as a side item. Think of them as a daily tonic, something that doesn't just feed your body but strengthens it from the inside out. Especially after 60, when your body needs smarter tools, not just more fuel, mushrooms offer something unique. They help restore, not just push. They support, not overstimulate. You might not feel it overnight, but after a few weeks of adding shiitake or maitake regularly, many of my patients report feeling more grounded, sleeping better, and having steadier energy throughout the day. That's the difference between surviving and thriving as you age. And mushrooms, humble as they are, can quietly help tip the balance in your favor. Heart and hormone helpers, tomatoes and red peppers. If you're a man over 60 and starting to feel slower, physically, mentally, or emotionally, your heart and hormone health could be sending early signals. Often we dismiss fatigue, fogginess, or even lower drive as just getting older. But the truth is, these changes are often linked to underlying inflammation, declining vascular health, and subtle hormone imbalances. The good news: 2 vibrant vegetables, tomatoes and red bell peppers, can quietly begin to turn that around. Let's start with tomatoes, a food I encourage many of my older male patients to eat several times a week. Tomatoes are the richest natural source of lycopene, a powerful antioxidant in the carotenoid family. What makes lycopene so essential for men over 60? Its direct impact on prostate health. Studies published in journals like Cancer Epidemiology and the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition have consistently shown that lycopene helps lower the risk of prostate enlargement, and in some cases, may even slow the progression of abnormal cell growth in the prostate. And the kicker, lycopene is more bioavailable when tomatoes are cooked. That means pasta sauce, tomato soup, or roasted tomatoes aren't just comforting, they're medicine. But tomatoes do more than protect the prostate. They also support your cardiovascular system. Lycopene, along with potassium and vitamin C found in tomatoes, helps reduce arterial stiffness and improve blood flow. That's critical for keeping your heart strong and your blood pressure in check. 2 factors directly tied to your ability to stay active and mentally sharp in your later years. Now let's talk about red bell peppers, another overlooked powerhouse for men aging gracefully. These peppers are loaded with vitamin C, much more than an orange in fact. And vitamin C isn't just for immunity. In older men, it plays a central role in collagen production, which supports healthy arteries, joints, skin, and even testosterone synthesis. Collagen may not seem like a hormone-related issue at first glance, but remember this. Your blood vessels, connective tissues, and skin all rely on collagen for structure. When collagen breaks down with age, and it does, naturally, you see a drop in tissue elasticity. That contributes to joint stiffness, slower healing, and even poor circulation, all of which affect testosterone levels indirectly by increasing physical stress and inflammation. There's another benefit to red peppers worth noting: quercetin, a natural anti-inflammatory compound. Chronic inflammation is one of the most common hidden causes of fatigue and declining hormone function after 60. Quercetin has been shown to reduce oxidative stress, support the immune system, and may even help regulate blood sugar levels. When your inflammation is under control, everything works better: your energy, your mood, your endurance. Combining tomatoes and red peppers in your meals is also incredibly easy. A roasted red pepper and tomato soup is simple, delicious, and therapeutic. Adding sautéed red peppers into scrambled eggs or tossing cherry tomatoes into salads with olive oil and basil can turn a basic meal into a nutrient-rich powerhouse. Cooking them with healthy fats like olive oil helps your body absorb fat-soluble antioxidants more efficiently, a small tip that makes a big difference. One caution: if you suffer from acid reflux or GERD, you might need to moderate raw tomatoes or peppers. In those cases, lightly cooked or peeled versions can often be better tolerated. Listen to your body, adjust how you prepare them, but don't skip them entirely. They're too beneficial. Here's what I remind my patients. At this stage in life, every food you put on your plate either supports your hormones, strengthens your heart, and fuels your longevity, or it works against it. Tomatoes and red peppers don't just sit there, they actively fight aging from the inside out. You don't need massive changes, just small, steady shifts. Add a handful of cherry tomatoes to lunch, slice red peppers into your evening stir-fry. These aren't just colorful garnishes. They're targeted tools to help you live longer, feel stronger, and stay present in the life you've built. Because after 60, it's not just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. And these two vegetables are a strong step in that direction. Hydration heroes, cucumbers and zucchini. If you often feel fatigued by midday, your joints ache more than they used to, or you notice your skin becoming thinner and drier with age, there's a good chance your body isn't just tired. It's dehydrated. And here's the catch. Even mild dehydration in men over 60 can mimic symptoms of more serious issues: low energy, dizziness, poor digestion, and cognitive fog. But two humble vegetables, cucumbers and zucchini, can quietly help reverse that if you know how to use them. Let's talk about cucumbers first. This is one of the most water-rich foods you can eat, around 95% water to be precise. But cucumbers do more than just hydrate. They contain a unique combination of silica, potassium, and vitamin K, which supports tissue elasticity, joint lubrication, and blood pressure regulation. I often tell my patients, at your age, your body's natural thirst signal gets weaker. That means by the time you feel thirsty, you're probably already mildly dehydrated. This can affect everything from your metabolism to your mood. Adding hydrating vegetables like cucumber to meals and snacks helps replenish water at the cellular level, without you even realizing it. Cucumbers also contain small but meaningful amounts of flavonoids and antioxidants, which help cool inflammation. That's crucial for joint health, especially if you deal with arthritis or stiffness. I've seen patients who simply added cucumber slices to their lunch daily, and within weeks, they reported clearer skin, less bloating, and more stable energy, because their body was finally getting consistent hydration through food. Now let's move to zucchini, one of the most underrated vegetables for aging men. Like cucumber, zucchini is over 90% water, but it also brings a unique nutrient profile: vitamin C, manganese, and fiber, all of which play a direct role in collagen repair, digestion, and inflammation control. Zucchini is incredibly easy to digest, which matters more than most people realize after 60. As the digestive system slows with age, heavy or fibrous foods can leave you bloated or sluggish. Zucchini provides nourishment without that burden. It's gentle on the stomach, but still rich in pectin, a type of soluble fiber that supports gut health and stabilizes blood sugar. Stable blood sugar means steadier energy, better mood, and reduced cravings for processed foods. Manganese in zucchini also supports bone health and testosterone function, especially in men dealing with age-related hormonal shifts. It's not talked about much, but trace minerals like this are vital. They support enzyme function and energy metabolism quietly but consistently. Another benefit: these two vegetables are incredibly versatile and fast to prepare. You don't need to be a chef. Cucumber can be added to salads, infused in water, or eaten as a crunchy snack with a little sea salt or olive tapenade. Zucchini can be grilled, spiralized into pasta, or gently sautéed with garlic and herbs. Even blending raw zucchini into smoothies adds creaminess without extra sugar or calories. And here's a final point I want to emphasize. Hydration through food is one of the safest and most sustainable ways to stay energized as you age, especially if you're taking medications that affect kidney function or electrolyte balance. Getting water from whole foods, alongside minerals, is gentler on your system than relying solely on fluids. You may not feel the change overnight, but if you start adding cucumber and zucchini regularly, just a few servings a week, you'll likely notice subtle shifts. Better digestion, less brain fog, less puffiness around the eyes, improved skin tone. These are signs your body is restoring balance. In my practice, I've seen men in their 60s and 70s reclaim their clarity and vitality, not by extreme diets or miracle pills, but by making quiet, consistent changes like this. Cucumbers and zucchini may be simple, but when it comes to hydration, recovery, and resilience, they're some of the most powerful tools on your plate. Because aging well isn't about chasing youth. It's about giving your body what it quietly needs, and honoring the strength that's still there, waiting to rise. You don't need complicated diets or expensive supplements. What you need is the right fuel. Food that supports your hormones, your heart, your energy, and your independence. These 6 vegetables aren't magic, but when you make them a regular part of your week, they can help restore the energy, focus, and quiet strength that aging tries to take from you. Which of these vegetables are already in your diet? And which one are you going to try this week? Let me know in the comments. I read every one of them. If this helped you, please like the video and subscribe to Glowing Age. It tells me you want more videos like this, and it helps us reach more men who need to hear it. I'm Dr. Justin Keller. Thanks for watching and take care of yourself. You've earned it.